Dear friends in Christ, today we celebrate the feast of Epiphany. The word Epiphany comes from the Greek word epiphania, which means revelation or manifestation. This feast was originally celebrated in the Eastern Church, especially in the Church of Alexandria in Egypt. And it was one of the oldest feasts that was celebrated in the church. And this feast included the incarnation of the Lord, the visitation of the wise men, the baptism of the Lord, and the first miracle of the Lord. Because all these three manifested Jesus to the world. In Christmas, we see the manifestation of God in human nature, and Jesus was revealed to the Gentiles when the wise men visited Jesus. At the baptism, his divinity was manifested, and at the first miracle of the Lord at Cana, his glory was revealed. But later, when this feast came to the Western Church, the Western Church celebrated or remembered the visitation of the wise men from the East. It was one of the church fathers, Origen, gave number to this wise man. He was the first one to say that there were 3 wise men came to see Jesus, mostly because of the 3 gifts that were given to Jesus. But in the 9th century, we see in the tradition that these 3 wise men were given names, namely Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthasar. But we also see in the 15th and 16th century, these wise men were also given ages. But these are all part of the tradition. What can we learn from this feast? I would reflect with you the 5 elements that we can reflect on this feast. First, they saw a sign. These wise men were the seekers of truth and wisdom. And they were able to see the sign because they were seekers. We can see what we seek. What do we seek in our life? Second, they followed the sign. They left their comfortable zones. They left their land. They left their friends, families, relatives. They left their properties. And then they followed the sign. How much are we ready to leave our geographical, physical, emotional, sociological, and economical comfort zones? Only when we leave our comfort zones, we can follow the signs. Third, they encountered Jesus. When they reached the place, it was not a palace. When they saw the person, he was not a wise man. They reached a manger. They saw a child, but yet they recognized the King of Jews. How do we see Jesus? How much are we open to see Jesus? Fourth, they gave gifts. They gave gold, a gift for a king. They gave frankincense, a gift for a priest. They gave myrrh, a gift for a human body, denoting the human mortality. In other words, they saw Jesus as a king. They saw Jesus as a priest. They saw Jesus as a human person. How do we see Jesus in our lives? Finally, they returned by another way. Every encounter will ensure that we change our way of life. In the Christmas, if we had really encountered Jesus, and that encounter must lead us to change our way of life. And the encounter is completed in the change of our lifestyle. Have we really encountered Jesus or not? It must be reflected in our life. Happy feast to all of you. God bless you.